boy Tiny, and we are coming back since you guys were fucking with the first video so heavy. It hasn't even been 12 hours, and it's almost at 300 views, 40 likes. We raised, I think, 50 subs within just today, so I cannot thank y'all enough. So I see y'all are liking this. So since we did Brack first channel, fellow right here, Tyler Felony, the fucking goat, decided to DM me and hit me up and do this. So hey, shout out to my man Tyler.
Let's
Uh,
go, boys.
so basically, same thing, you guys, same thing. We're gonna ask him a series of questions. I already got them lined up. We took 3 questions actually from some fans and supporters off of Twitter. So let's just get right into this. So question number one, my man. Um, what is one thing you'll always remember in your life? Now it doesn't even have to be gaming related. Just one thing you'll always remember.
I mean, my entire life has been gaming basically, but since I was 15 years old, I've been playing tournaments. So my entire life has revolved around gaming. All my memories have been gaming, and I mean, my closest friends are the ones I've met through. Meant through coming to events and competing. I'd say my most memorable moment is definitely just Black Ops 3 Anaheim. I mean, that was the event that kind of I went into the event as like, all right, I don't really know what I'm doing with my life. To okay, this is my career. Like I played really well. Like I got recognition. Like that was where for me kind of just all changed.
Okay, okay, that's bad. I know when I was younger, my older brother got me into gaming, and he used to bring me to his friend's house where they used to do like little LAN things and just post up all around the house. Have a box TV in every room with an Xbox.
Box TVs,
That shit
man.
was lit. When I
Legend,
tell
box
you
TVs are
lit,
legendaries.
that shit was lit, my man. But question number
Yep.
two now. What's your favorite activity outside of gaming? I know mine is like I like going and play basketball at my friend's house just because he has a full court. Like why not? You feel me? Just run games.
Yeah, I mean, my thing my entire life while I was playing COD has always been baseball. I played that since I played COD, since T-ball.
Mhm.
And when you hit the age of 17, 18, you have to make that decision whether or not you're going to school, what are you going for? And, I had it planned out like going to school, playing baseball, seeing how that route would go, but instead when I was 17, I could still compete at an event, and then that's when I went
Yeah.
started going to events, and then that's the path I ended up choosing. But I mean, baseball, man, that's been like if there wasn't COD, baseball's been my whole life.
Hey, funny story, no bullshit actually. I played baseball up from like I think when I was like no bullshit like 8 to I think the age of 11. I used to be scared shitless of the ball in the bat. No bullshit. Cause you know how
Nah,
in you know how in the
you be getting smoked by that shit,
hey,
huh?
I swear to God, yo, I couldn't hit the ball worth shit. I remember the first time I hit it, ran a double. That was the best feeling of my life. No bullshit.
Yeah, no more doubles after that.
None, no more. I don't even think I hit the ball again after that, to be honest. I think I got walked one other time, but shit. No,
You gotta
you
come up to
remember?
the plate intimidating, bro.
Hey, you remember as like on the younger leagues, like you'd have to rotate every position, so you'd have to pitch, you'd have to go to first,
Yeah.
second, third. When I was a catcher, no bullshit, I hated that. Hated it. I
Nah,
was the worst
catching's
catcher.
horrible. I
Cause like
hate
you're
catching.
swinging a bat
I
right in
never.
front of me, dog. Like I don't
Mm,
like that. Why am I
nah,
comfortable
nah, nah,
with you
nah.
swinging a metal
Miss,
bat?
miss me with catching. I've never been a catcher.
Yeah, that shit was terrible. And then I gotta worry
Nah.
about catching the fucking ball too. Like,
There's a lot, man. People that are catchers, they don't get the
no, not
proper
at
respect.
all.
That's for sure.
All right, question number three.
100%.
What's your go-to clothing brand? Like mine is I like wearing Nike. Literally, if you look in my closet, my fucking drawers, you will see mainly Nike. That's just what I wear.
All right, man. I'm gonna get roasted on this, but I mean, most of my clothes are either John Elliott or some Burberry.
Hey,
Those are like my favorite clothing brands.
the
But
Burberrys, you really can't go wrong with it. I'm not gonna lie. The
yeah,
Burberrys,
yeah,
you can definitely do something with that for sure. But I know a lot of people now are starting to do like New Balance and
yeah. I
Champions.
mean, that's what I was about to say. I mean, clothing trends, they fucking
Yeah, they change all the
they
time.
change so often, man. Like if you asked me the same question 3 years ago, the answer you would have gotten would have been completely different.
Yeah,
Like
facts. I know. I
yeah.
I just started riding the Champion wave. I'm not gonna lie. I got like 3 sweatshirts and 2 shirts
Yeah,
with just
no,
Champion.
Champions really stepped up their brand a lot
Hmm.
definitely in the past few years.
Yep. So, who is your hero or the person you looked up to or still look up to the most in your life?
I mean, the person I looked up to the most, honestly, is Fizzerp, dude. I mean, rest in peace. But like, literally, from the time I was an S&D kid until the time he passed away, like whether it was S&D or whether it was respawn, he like supported me as a really good friend. Even if I wasn't on the same team competing against him, he'd be like, "Yo, why are you doing this?" or "You're doing this wrong." Like
Yeah.
just a really good, wholehearted friend. And like, when you're going through a career like this and you're constantly competing, it's really good to have those close friends that you can always rely on because there's a lot of ups and downs. It's always like the highs are the highs, the lows are the lows. So it's always good to have like a good stable foundation of friends that you can always rely on. And I mean, that's what he was for me.
That's what he was for a lot of people though, because I'm not even gonna
Yeah.
lie. I knew him for I met him in like the middle of Black Ops 3 when he wasn't home, And
Yeah.
literally, I think the first time I played with him, he was just giving me tips on how to get better, like just little shit
Yeah,
that
literally.
nobody else would do. And I was just like, what the fuck? And it was actually big for me, because I'm not gonna lie, coming up as like a S&D player, like mainly in Ghost, that's when I started playing like for money and all that. That's who I would watch. Literally him.
Oh yeah,
I would
man.
watch him, Pharaoh, and
Yeah.
all of them. Like all the S&D kids, just watch them.
MW. In MW3, it was literally I'd watch him every day after school. It was either him or Haggy. I'd have one of their streams on, and they in MW3 they raced to who would get 100 first on their TL or on their on their team ladder.
Yeah, on GB.
Every day, yeah, every day MW3. Back when GB matches were the shit.
Hey, GB matches, I ain't gonna lie. I used to be tell my mom, yo, can I just finish this game real quick? Looking at it now, if I would have said, I'd be like, I'll get off in a GB match. I could care less. But like
Yeah, man. Back
back
then, I've
then,
been
that
playing.
shit was hard. That shit, if you were on first page, you were a goat. Period.
Dude, I've been playing GB tournaments since or GB matches since I was like 11 years old, 10 years old.
Hey, and the
Been
funny
playing them
thing
for a
is
minute.
actually that you brought up Fizzer. I had no bullshit. I don't know if you got one or like you contacted his mother after he passed
Oh
away,
yeah, she sends me
but
stuff all the time.
she sent me, or I bought a shirt because I was just like, yo, I wanted a shirt. You feel me? Like that's who I looked up to in S&D.
Hmm.
He's a S&D pioneer. You feel me? I was like, I want a shirt, support. She actually sent me a sweatshirt as well. Mad as hell.
Hmm.
I lost that shit like a year and a half ago when I moved houses. Lost full. I literally teared up my mom's house and my father's house looking for that shit.
Yeah, man.
I
She sent
lost it.
me. I have a few shirts. I have a few shirts. I think a beanie. Yeah, no, a few shirts, a beanie, and I think a few hoodies
Yeah.
and a jersey. Yeah, she sent me a lot of stuff actually. Every
That
time I
was.
visit California, I usually hang out with her for a little bit, and then she'll give me something.
Hey, yeah, that's good. That's good. Keep that connection, my man, cause that
Yeah,
that
man. If I
man
can get
was
to
a goat.
Anaheim.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, no. Rest in peace to Fizzard, you guys. That man was a legend for sure. Next question: who was your favorite teammate and least favorite teammate?
um, favorite teammate. I would probably have to say Clay. Either
Mm.
Clay or ooh, and see, it's hard for me to pick just one good teammate because I've had a
Yeah,
lot
you
of
you
pretty
played with
steady teammates.
a lot of elite
I
players for
mean,
sure.
as of right now, I'd probably have to say Clay as well like all around Clay and
Hmm.
as teammate player all in one. I don't think the entire time I team at that E United time, our team, the entire 5 6 months, I don't think we argued once. Like
Really?
it was just yeah, and it's like every other team I've been on, not every team, but for the most part, there's disagreements. You have your ups and downs, your
Yeah.
arguments, but like I never had an argument with that team really. It was all just very calm, cool. Everyone understood each other,
He has
and
that
I
he,
mean,
he has that like
yeah,
champion mindset. I feel like where like he's open minded about everything.
yeah, no, 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 very open minded, and that's an important thing. I mean, like being only right and never wrong is just never a good mindset for
Yeah,
anyone to have. Your way or the highway, that just never really works in a team environment. If everyone's down, maybe, but you throw an extra player into the mix this year, it's a lot harder to get all 5 people on the same page for sure.
for sure, for sure.
But I mean, if I had to pick someone, it'd probably be Clay.
That'd be good. Any worst teammates?
Worst teammates. Um, okay, so at the time, I would say Looney in World War II for the first event. Or halfway through IW, I'd say. And my opinion has changed since then, but at the time, it just that was who stuck out to
Yeah,
me. If
it
I had
just
to pick
wasn't
someone
working. It
that's
just wasn't
yeah, no,
working.
no, no, it wasn't working. Me and him just didn't get along, and outside of game, like didn't get along internally, didn't agree on things. So like it was just not the we just didn't have a good experience together. I mean, now I'm sure if we were to play together, it wouldn't be nearly as bad.
Yeah, 100%,
But
100%.
after you end up teaming with someone for over a year or for X amount of time, you start to not all the time, but you can like start to grow a little. I'm not gonna say rivalry, but a little feud between each other. It
Yeah,
definitely happens.
especially like if you're not growing like as you wish to, or like you're not getting the type of
Yeah,
success you're
especially
wanting, and like
especially if there's a lot of up and downs.
yeah, that can definitely happen. That can definitely happen. But you guys are probably
Yeah.
still good friends and all that. So I
Oh
mean,
yeah, no, 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 yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Water under the bridge, of course. But
Mm.
yeah, just saying at the time, if I had to pick someone.
What originally got you into gaming and competing in the first place?
So when I was 10, my uncle, I used to always play video games, but my uncle had Call of Duty 4. It was when it first came out, and I went over his house, and he just got a new computer, new internet, all that set up,
He
and
got
he
the
was playing.
setup then.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So he was playing online, and I was like, "Oh my God, what is this?" Like I've always played. I played all the old Call of Duties, but I never played them online, and I was like, "What is this shit?" So I literally sat down and like instantly got addicted. Like when I was over his house, I sat and played for like 6 hours, and I went home and immediately was like, "Hey, mom, dad, for Christmas, like this is what I want." Like,
Yeah,
um,
that's lit.
yeah. So for that Christmas, they got me all the stuff I needed, and I started gaming. All the essentials, I should say. I
Yeah,
had like
yeah.
DSL internet, the Xbox headset that looked like it was taped around your head, and the regular controller. It
Hey,
had Astros or any of that
hey,
cool shit. Yeah.
do you remember that Turtle Beach headset where it was only on one ear? You remember that?
Yes, dude.
Hey, I
No, no,
used
no.
to have
I'm
that
talking. I'm
shit.
talking about just a regular 360 headset, man.
Oh yeah, the little like it's
Yeah,
like those
it
people
came
who
with
work
it.
at the people who work at the phone companies and booths.
Yeah, it looks like I was
Yeah.
working for AT&T. Oh man, take your call.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
100%.
I know when I first got into Call of Duty, it was my older brother. I seen him playing World at War because I was playing Halo 3 like prior to this. I seen him
Yeah.
playing World at War PUBG with his friends, and I was like, yo, I want to play that. My mom actually didn't let me play it right away just because like World at War was a gruesome game. Like
Oh
you
yeah,
saw,
people's legs got ripped
yeah,
off and shit in
yeah.
that
So
game.
like,
I know.
and
I
then
remember
Zombies
that.
too. Like she just wasn't fucking with it. But my brother
Yeah.
convinced her, and then that's where I started fucking with Call of Duty eventually.
Yeah, and then on top of that, I met people from my high school that played while I was still in like sixth grade or fifth grade. So I was like the fifth grader that's playing with all the ninth graders, 10th graders.
And you were just a
We
dog
play.
with them,
Yeah,
huh?
we were playing GV matches. Yeah.
That's funny
Yep.
actually.
Yeah, they ended up
Uh,
getting they got decent, and then they all quit.
and they all quit. My man
Yeah.
Tyler kept it out though. Hey,
Yeah, I stuck it through.
and that's how I was with a
Yeah.
lot of people. To be honest with you, a lot of my friends actually play. It was more MW3. We would always play MW3 on Dome and just
Yeah.
snipe. You feel me? That's how.
Yeah, I
That was a
started back
game.
in the day, man. Like I'm just turning 22 next month, but I've been around for a minute.
Yeah, but you were also like since you were playing like the original Call of Duty, you were really young then at the time, huh?
Oh yeah, 10, 11 years old, 9 years. Oh, the original ones I just played like campaign and stuff.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
still
like
like that's still a Call of Duty.
8 years old. Yeah, that's been my whole life. What
uh,
do you got from what you got from me next? We
what's
got
your
whipping up me
favorite
next.
COD and why? Then after this question, we got some fan questions. So what's your favorite Call of Duty and why?
Um, so if I had to say strict S&D and based off some nostalgia, I'd say Ghost
Ghost. Yup.
because
Yup. My guy.
Ghost was the only game I have played competitively that I can probably still go back on, get a
Mhm.
$50 wager, no question asked,
Yeah.
and hop on and play, and it'd be fun for me, or at least nostalgic for me. Um, I'd have to say Ghost for S&D. Um, I consider the jetpack games their own era, and I think Bob's 3 for the jetpack games.
Yeah.
A lot of people argue AW over Black Ops 3, but I had a successful year in Black Ops 3, so it's hard for me not to say Black Ops
Yeah.
3.
You're
I
definitely
I
just
had a I
gonna.
had a good ass time.
Yeah. Exactly. You were
uh,
winning, so it's just like.
yeah, when you're winning, it's a good ass time. So I mean, same to each their own with that. But as far as ground CODs go, I'd say Ghost for S&D and just Black Ops 2 for the rest. I mean, Black Ops 2 really put everything on the map. Everyone knows about Black Ops 2.
Yeah. 100%.
You can go down to your local gas station and say Call of Duty, and they'll be like, if you show them the game case, I guarantee you they'd know what Black Ops 2 is because that was the only
Facts,
one
yo.
that's the only one that they either played, the only one that their friends played.
That's facts, actually.
Yeah.
I think my favorite game, I'd have to agree with Ghost for S&D just because like smokes, trophy, like it was actually a competitive. Like there was different
Yeah.
like strategies. You could do so much
There
different
was a lot.
shit.
There was a lot that went into it. You actually just had to think.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
more than, and then on top of it, yeah. And the only thing that you can kind of disagree with is maybe the vector when it got buffed. But I mean, that game had a whole bunch of different metas.
I
So
think the MTAR meta was the best meta to be honest with
the
you. I
MTAR
love that one.
Remington meta was really good. It
Yeah.
was.
But no, I think my
100%.
favorite like pub game to just like if I were to just have to pick a Call of Duty to play pubs the whole time, Black Ops 1. I love that game so much. I don't know why. Like the pubs were just fun. I fucked with the G11 and the FAMAS. Like I don't know why. That's just
So,
what stuck out to me actually.
I remember going Black Ops 1. I think was the last game that I waited in line for. One of the last games I waited in line for at a GameStop. And I literally remember going up to the GameStop at the mall with all my friends that I was in middle school. I was in like I think at this point I was in like eighth grade, and they're all like in 11th and they're seniors. And it was like my like first or second time meeting all them in person. I was so nervous, man.
Yeah, no,
we all,
that would definitely be
yeah. And we
kind of
all stood in
nervous.
line and immediately went home and played for like 9 hours.
Was it like an
But
awkward stand in line?
no, it was actually really chill. But during Black Ops 1, that's when I kind of started. I was like 13, I think. So that was when baseball started getting a little bit more serious for me with like traveling and stuff. So
Yeah,
like I played Call of Duty as much as I could, but like there were times where there were weekends where I just wouldn't play at all, and then there'd be times during the week I just got my schoolwork done quick. I'd play all day, all night.
yeah, I feel you
It
on
was
that one for sure.
sporadic.
So, all right, you ready for some fan questions? Now we got three of them.
All right, let's see the fan
All
questions.
right, so from my boy Faker, I see him in the stream. Shout out to Faker. He's a GOAT supporter. Were your parents supportive of your first, like when you first started gaming, or what? And if not, what did they do, or what did you do actually to kind of teach them like, hey, I can do this?
Yeah, so I would say at first while I was in school, I always kept good grades, so it wasn't really a big deal. But like if I ever missed a good bit of school, um, they'd be like, "Yay, like no Xbox today or no this today." And I'd be like, "What man, I'm playing tournaments. You better let me play today. Like, I'm sick. I can't help this shit." But as I got older, like I'd say when I was about 15, I started making I'd say pretty stable income from like S&D tournaments back in the day. I think it was
Yeah,
Ghost or the no, year before Ghost. It was Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 I made some pretty stable income off S&D tournaments. And when they started seeing like the money that I was making just off of 15, 16, off of just these tournaments that I was playing while still doing good in school, I mean, they just made it to where it was like, hey, as long as you keep your grades up, as long as you're not missing too much school, like, and keep your head on straight, like, we don't care at all, like, we don't mind. Um, so then I didn't really take it as like a serious career path until I was 17 and there was an event in Columbus. The only reason I even went was because it was a drive. If I had to
yeah,
hop on a plane for my first event, I probably just would have never went. I would have had no desire.
yeah.
Because honestly, for a moment there, I was just really on the school and like baseball path.
Uh
I
huh.
wasn't really thinking competitive COD just wasn't what it is back then as it is now. Salaries weren't
Yeah.
a thing. It wasn't sustainable.
You had to
But
actually go in place to make money.
yeah, exactly. Like, and place good. Top 8 paid
Yeah,
out what you spend to go to the event with food.
yeah,
But I would say the most important thing literally was just making money and proving to them that it's not just a hobby. Because I mean, you have to realize your parents' generation, it was a hobby to them. It's a
yeah,
hobby. You have to help them see differently. And I mean, now they support it. I mean, they've been to a few events. They drove all the way down to champs. They've been to champs. They went to two straight champs. During the league splits, they come out if there's like a playoffs in Columbus, anything like that. I mean, they're really supportive.
yeah. That's always good to have the support of your parents after, but it is a struggle to get them to understand, just like you said, because like in their time, yeah, it was just a hobby. You feel me? Like, and if you played too much, you would be considered quote unquote like a nerd or like you're wasting your time. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
So
just being unproductive.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that I'm proud of you for I'm proud of actually a lot of the people nowadays for actually showing their parents like, hey, I can do this. 'Cause I know a
Yep.
few people who would still struggle with because like they're just turning 18. They know what they can do. Like we've all seen the talent they can do. Like I don't know if you know Paul X.
Yeah, I know, Paul.
He was talking to us about it. That he just had to show his parents, and so he started winning all these primes and everything. And now they're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you can start competing and everything. So shout out to Paul for that one. Good job on that. But yeah, it's definitely a struggle for that.
Yeah, man. And I mean, if you're not winning tournaments or not making an income and you're still trying to convince them,
Yeah,
I mean
it's
that's
rough.
truthfully hard because I never had to go through that, but like
Yeah.
it is tough. Like I don't know. At that point, you just gotta hope they're on board.
Yeah, facts.
But
Uh,
it's if you're not showing anything for what you're playing, it's hard to sway someone.
100%. Cause I know if I was a parent, I'd be looking at it like, yo, you got to do something. Like,
Yeah, I mean, if you're not winning and you're not bringing home money, I mean, take the entertainment route maybe, convince them of streaming, YouTube videos. But if you want to compete and that's what your mind's set to, you gotta
yeah,
bring in some cash, some
exactly.
type of
And the and
some
the
type of
end, that's
something.
like the long run.
Yeah,
If you can make cash off it, then you can do it. But like, yeah. This is from
for sure.
Gomez. He said, aside from Call of Duty, what are your thoughts on how fast esports is growing? And looking back 10 years ago to now, what do you hope to see from like within the next 5 to 10 years?
I mean, 10 years ago, I was what, 12 years old. Yeah, this would doing what I'm doing right now didn't even run through my mind, literally.
Mm,
I played in my spare time because I had friends that played COD, it was just relatable. And you have schooling and you have sports and all that. So I mean, that was just 10 years ago and then now it's my career and it's what I thrive off of. So I mean, 5 years from now, I can only imagine. I mean, next year we're franchising just for COD. It's just you have stadiums that are filled with League of Legends. You have $30 million facilities that are being built for Overwatch, and it's not going down. It's only going up. So
yeah.
I
Uh,
mean, it's a great industry to get in, and it's expanding really fast. Especially if you know what you're doing, you can land a lot of good jobs if
100%,
you're
bro.
if you're experienced in the industry for sure.
Those League of Legend tournaments, those are so packed. Like imagine playing on that stage,
Oh,
like
dude, yeah,
or making
it's
like you one v
unreal.
three, like you win
Counter
a map
Strike
or some shit.
tournaments,
Like
Counter Strike tournaments are unbelievable.
yeah, no, those
Counter
like the
like they're
crowds are just
amazing.
fucking huge. Like
They're so into it,
imagine just making a crazy ass play to win the map. Like you know how
dude.
geek that
Yeah.
would be. Like you know how much adrenaline is running through their bodies right there.
I mean, yeah, that happens with the crowds we have now at events, but it's just to a larger extent
Yeah,
in those
exactly.
games.
It's just crazy
Yeah,
from that part. But
yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, I think there's only endless possibilities. Every day you see a new famous rapper, a new famous celebrity, new billionaire investing into a team that my friends are on or people that I know, and it's like,
yeah, it's actually kind of it's kind of
it's
like
literally
surreal.
it's a billionaire's hobby. That's what esports is, and
Facts,
there's
actually.
a lot of people with a lot
You
of
see,
money that don't know what they're
hey, you
doing.
see,
Don't know
Soldier
what
Boy
they're doing.
made his own little game station.
Yeah, you're literally his own team.
He has his own team, his own game station. Like just because, like he probably was bored and like I want
Yeah,
to
no,
invest into
literally
esports.
bored
Fuck
with
it.
money and yeah, exactly. That's what it is for a lot of people, man.
All right, and so the last fan question we have is from Creature the Joke. He said, "What do you think went wrong with your last EG roster?"
Okay. So the EG roster, just to bring it back to the start, it was me, Royalty, Goonjar, Saints, and Lacefield, and that was to start off this game the first 2 months. And what happened there was we literally couldn't get through a full scrim. Like whether someone was complaining, someone just hopped off, someone was just like not even calling out, or it was just unacceptable. It literally couldn't get a productive scrim in. So I mean, she just had to be made. I think yeah, we dropped Andy for exotic because at the time EG didn't have we had no high have a stock. We weren't in the league yet. It was we needed someone, and there was I mean, not to talk down on John in any way, but like what I'm saying is we just didn't have a high pool of players to pick from. And one of the teams that we could pick from was Haggie's team at the time, which had Exotic on it, and Exotic team with Goonjar and Royalty before, yada yada. So it was an easy decision to make. It was a comfortable decision. And when Exotic was on the team and we were playing with Nato, we stuck it out for a few weeks. You know, we were making progress. We went to Vegas. We got a top 8. There's a few things at Vegas that were like kind of that everyone is kind of just like uneasy about that could have changed in the way people acted, I'd say.
Yeah,
And so after that event, you know, we came out with a top 8. It wasn't it wasn't necessarily horrible, but it was something to build on. And a few weeks later, we were in one of the pro downs, and Nato got on extremely late. He was being late to scrims. He was just muting his mic, not talking about things. He just wasn't being a part of the team. He just didn't want to be
yeah,
a part of the team. He just wanted to be somewhere else. So that's when we picked up Bryce Renato. I mean, it was just obvious he didn't want to play with this group of people anymore. It's nothing against him. It's not like he sucked. Just the group of players didn't want to mesh. So then we picked up Bryce. We went 6-1 at the Pro League or the last chance qualifier for the league Pro League qualifier, whatever it was,
yeah.
in Columbus. We went 6-1. We thought we were in a pretty good spot. You know, everyone was getting along well. We were all on the same page for the most part. And then we made it to the league, and we had a horrible, horrible stint. And during that horrible, horrible stint, you know, people start plotting behind each other's backs, and the moment that starts happening,
That's when the whole team falls.
your team's trust goes straight out the window, man. Like so to give you perspective, like Bryce is dropped from our team, and it's like I'm being told Bryce is being dropped. We're playing with this guy, and I'm being told, oh yeah, and you almost got dropped for this guy, but I stuck up for you while your other two teammates didn't. It's like so
That'd be
okay.
awkward as shit.
I know half of my team just tried dropping me, but you know you have to man up and you have to play through it, which is fine. And but at this point, you know, then Bryce gets dropped for Dylan, and so it's me, Gunjar, Royalty, Exotic, and Attach, which was our latest roster. So at this point, we have not played more than one event with the same team, not once.
Yeah,
Like we've had a different player, and then we go into what Dallas, and at Dallas, we literally threw away so many matches. Like against Red, threw away the series. Against E6, we're up 2-0, got reverse swept. Against Optic, we had a 208 to 84 lead in the hard point in losers bracket, threw it away first map. S&D, we were up 5-2. They came back and beat us. Like
that would be the
literally, the
worst,
epitome of
actually.
Dallas for us was just not even being able to close out a map, and it was kind of disappointing because we just picked up Dylan, so we kind of hoped that after having a 2-6 week in the league, that or 2 weeks in the league, that it'd be able to like step us up to like another tier, and it just didn't. It just simply didn't. And when we went back after Fort Worth, you know, like we talked about it, we're like, we have to at least go 3-1 in our week here at this league. At the worst, 2-2. Like we have to have a good week
Yeah,
here to bring it back. We just had a bad event and a bad first 2 weeks on our league. So we get to the league. First 2 days, we lose game 5s, but it was something to build upon, you know? At Fort Worth, we were just not even closing on a map,
Yeah.
but we are at least making some progress, and then our 3rd series, we won against Envy, and then our 4th series, we just got absolutely 3-0 smoked by Accelerate. It was like we weren't even trying, we weren't even in the game,
Mhm.
and that was how we finished off our league finished off our week, and when you finish off a week like that, you just everyone went home, we just got 3-0, no one talked to each other, you just things aren't going well,
Yeah, that's
and,
just after the game where you just don't even say a
yeah.
word to each other. You're just like, "I'll see y'all later" or something.
Yeah, literally, Dylan booked a flight home, I drove home, it was just no one talked to each other at all.
Yeah.
And then, so there was a week break, and then we also during this time, we qualified for that Toronto event, the Road Gaming event.
Yep.
So, we already qualified for that as a team, and it was after this, we had a week break in between our last league matches and the Toronto event. So, we were one of the only besides, Arcity's team that ended up winning it,
Yeah.
we were the only group of pros that went, and we didn't win it. So, obviously, that there in its own is just a complete letdown
Yeah.
as a team for expectations. And at that point, from a management standpoint, changes definitely have to be made, and I don't disagree at all. But I just think that to sum it up, I just don't think that the right group of players were mixed. And to be completely blunt, I don't think I was a problem in any form of way. I mean, I definitely have my flaws, but
Yeah.
to each their own.
Yeah.
But
Everybody has their own
yeah,
little
yeah, yeah, no, no,
thing,
no, for
but
sure. But I think it was more so just it internally combusted, to put it in. I mean, that's usually what happens with most teams that break up. It just ends up being a lack of trust or teammates just not really getting along, or that's usually what ends up cutting it off.
yeah. That's just I mean, that's just something like it's not like bound to happen, but it's really hard to save because if the players
Mm,
within each other just can't work together, and like you said, you were mixing all the play like different players in and out, like even when you're bringing new players in left and right, and it's still not working, it's just like
yeah, I
each
mean,
time you do it, it gets even more depressing after that. Like it just gets more
everyone's
sad.
changing their roles, everyone's changing their specialists, you're changing players. Everyone's just trying to play as much as they can because you're not winning. It just gets
Yeah,
really stressful when you're playing a lot, and then like in a scrim, against scrims we're playing good, not bad at all.
yeah.
And
That's
then
actually
when you
the
go to
worst though.
yes, when you're scrimming and then you guys are playing to a standard, and then you go to the event, and it's just like we're getting smoked off the board. It's like, hello, what just happened?
Yeah, I've definitely had it where
So yeah.
like you're grinding and you're not grinding out of you want to get better. You're grinding because you want to get out of a slump. And like when you're just grinding and
Yeah,
you don't
that's
see that
horrible.
when you don't see that progress, you're just like, what am I doing wrong? I guarantee you, most of you guys were changing your sense too, huh? Like I do that shit all
Oh,
the
no, no, no,
time.
I never changed my sensor, my
Really,
controller
in this game, yo, I be
yeah.
changing my sensitivity left and right if I'm getting smoked.
It was more so, dude, just watching we watched a lot of VODs together, we talked about a lot of situations. I don't know, there's a lot of problems
Yeah,
with
it
our
just
team
wasn't working.
internally that you just can't shed the light, and yeah, basically.
Yeah, I feel
Internal
you, man.
problems.
Yeah, that's just it's unfortunate, but
Yeah,
that's just how it happens.
for
So the
sure.
last question of the video of the interview, as I'm gonna ask everybody on this channel, any messages or like any statements you want to say to your fans or supporters watching this right now? Because most of these people are gonna be fans of you, if anything. So
Yeah,
anything
man,
to say to
I streamed today, and I got 100 questions with what team I'm on because EG announced a roster. But
them?
so boys, I'm on the sub spot for EG right now. Probably not going to London. Definitely not going to London as of right now. Um, just I've never had to miss out on an event, but it's one of those things that definitely it has to be for the best. I had other offer, but it just one of those things that in the long term is the smarter decision to make.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for the interview, man. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Hey, thank you for reaching out, hitting me up, and actually doing this because, like I said, this is something I want to try. I
No
actually
problem.
enjoyed it the first time with Brack, and I enjoyed it even more right here. Like it's just getting better and better. So this is
100%. More
definitely
to build on.
yeah, exactly. This is definitely something I like doing. Something it's pretty fun too. And actually, a lot of supporters came into my stream today. Were commenting on the video. They were like, "Yo, I love getting to know these people. Like not just gaming related. Like getting to actually know them as a person."
Oh yeah, man.
We can all have these interviews. We all know how each other act like in games, sometimes like off streams and everything. But like nobody really goes in depth and sees like who
Oh,
that person
sitting in a
is.
call and actually talking to someone,
Exactly.
I have so much stigma around me. It's just like he talks, he talks, he talks. He's annoying. But like, I guarantee you, if you hung around with me for an hour, you would probably talk my ear off.
Exactly. That's just how it is. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just how
For
it is.
sure. Nah, I mean, I like it. It's always good to give people other insight on everyone, like not everyone has an inside the controller scuff video,
Yep.
Like
Yep.
it's good.
Facts.
It's good. Yeah. It's definitely a good way for people to get to know each other.
For sure. For
100%.
sure. Well, all right. YouTube. Everybody, actually, that'll be the end of the video, you guys. We're gonna cut it right there. Again, shout out to Tyler for coming out and doing this for us. I hope
You're
you guys like the video. Drop a thumbs up on it. Drop a comment if you guys want to see new people. If you guys want and have any suggestions, really, let me know. I can definitely reach out to some people. And it
whole
doesn't
bunch of
have
new
to.
rosters, whole bunch of new
Exactly,
18-year-olds,
exactly. So
a
we
lot of
can
young
definitely
talent.
figure something out coming up, my man. We can definitely do, and it doesn't have to even be Call of Duty, you guys. Like players, it can be content creators. It can be like just high end names. Like you guys want
Oh,
to
a
do,
Row
like,
Dog.
you
Get a
feel
Row
me? You
Dog
feel
on
me?
there.
We can get Row Dog on here, my man. Like we can do everybody.
Yeah.
Like just let me know what you guys want. Let me know if you guys are liking the video, what you guys want to see on my channel. I can definitely elaborate and do more things. But for that, we are done with this video, you guys. Thank you guys so much. Drop a sub on the channel. Let's get to 1K within a few weeks. And with that being said, you guys, me and Tyler are out. We'll see y'all later. Peace.
Later, boys.